you don't have Tucker out there anymore, clearly, or he's not here because that was a trade. You don't have Bregman here anymore. The lineup's got some flex. It's got some places to fit some guys in. And if you're a rookie, the worst thing sometimes you can do is step into a team that's expected to win 100 games.
And joining me right now in studio is a very special guest with an awesome title. He is our front office insider, Jeremy Booth. You guys loved him when he was on the show with me and Joe and when he was on with me before. Now we are going to get a whole lot of Jeremy Booth. I believe we are getting you 3 times a month, Jeremy.
Yeah, three times a month in studio.
Yes.
Yeah. We may do some more outside of that, but it's fun to be part of the team. I've known you a long time and be able to do this, and to be here officially is exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very excited about it. You can also see Jeremy Booth on KHOU. He does the Extra Bases baseball podcast with Jason Bristol. Okay, Cam Smith made the Astros opening day roster.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Jeremy, he is the Astros starting right fielder tomorrow. What are your thoughts?
I talked to his high school travel baseball hitting coach today, Thomas Kelly, who will be here Friday to see him, right? I mean, Cam's kind of he's a fun story. I remember talking to TK about him back in high school, Future Star Series stuff related, so I knew, watching what's going on with Cam, man, and Mike Metcalf, who recruited him at Florida State, is now back with the Tigers. I'm so happy for the kid, first and foremost, to be here. Sometimes timing is everything, and it's the right time for him to show up, right? You don't have Tucker out there anymore, clearly, or he's not here because that was a trade. You don't have Bregman here anymore. The lineup's got some flex. It's got some places to fit some guys in, and if you're a rookie, the worst thing sometimes you can do is step into a team that's expected to win 100 games. That club's not expected to win 100 games. That club's expected to compete and be good and see where they're going to go. And so all that brings back to him is an environment where everybody's going to be like, all right, man, let's see what you can do. Let's see how you fit. Let's see how you produce. And that's a win for him. That's a big win. Now, offensively, what we're getting is a hitter.
A hitter.
A hitter. You're getting a hitter.
This is not a power guy.
Not yet.
Not a 60 home run guy.
Not yet. This is a hitter. He doesn't have 3 years in the minor leagues. Doesn't have 2 years in the minor leagues. I think he's got 30 games in the minor leagues, right? That's nowhere near enough time to decide this guy's going to hit 40 home runs in the big leagues. However, if you believe that he's going to hit and that the power is going to show up over time, then he comes to this level, if you're the Astros, and you let him play. The way you're going to judge Cam Smith is hard contact. The way you're going to judge Cam Smith is by not swinging and missing. The way you're going to judge Cam Smith is using the whole field. That's how you're going to judge this guy in year one with somebody who doesn't have the minor league pedigree that everybody else has had before him. Throughout the game, the history of the game, by the way, not just the Astros. There's 10 guys that have done this before? Mm-hmm. So he's in a pretty elite fraternity as it is. The expectations from him to come in here hit 60 are unfair. I think if he hits 10 to 12, it's a good year.
Okay, 10 to 12. I'd like that too. Again, you take a look at the rest of the Astros outfield, which is why Jose Altuve is playing in it.
Yeah.
You're talking Jake Myers. You're talking Chas McCormick. I don't know if Chas McCormick's going to be able to recapture that year he had a couple of seasons ago. I'm skeptical about that.
Yeah.
I think the Astros clearly are too.
Yeah.
And Myers is much more of a defensive player. So, okay, 10 to 12 home runs, but discipline at the plate. And I think that's a really big thing, Jeremy. We talked about that a lot last year, how the Astros, from a discipline perspective, they seem to lose their way last year. And so now Cam Smith, young player, you're going to want him to fall in line because that was definitely something that Joe Espada has been beating the drum all spring training about. We got to get back to what we used to do, which is being patient, drawing out counts. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Jose Altuve is someone who adapts that new strategy.
Tuve is going to be Tuve no matter what offensively, right? He's going to swing early. He's going to swing often. He's going to hit the ball hard. He's going to have clutch at bats. He's going to do what he does. The thing that I'm watching with Altuve is I'm really curious to see playing left field, how it affects him offensively, right? Defensively is going to be an interesting experiment.
It has not been interesting thus far, Jeremy. It has been terrifying.
Been terrible, yeah. So, but interesting experiment is a nice way of saying we'll see what we get, okay?
Yeah.
When you're talking about him as a hitter, it's like putting Alvarez, as we've talked about at length, in a spot where he's not comfortable, or a Tucker, because of how they approach the game. So position changes, they mess with people. They just do. I don't think it'll mess with him at the plate. I just don't, but we'll see. We'll see, right? In the outfield, man, I still wouldn't have him out there. I just wouldn't have him in left field. I'd have him at second base, and I'd have Dubon playing somewhere in the outfield. And if you want to talk about Myers in center field, okay, fine. I get he can go get it. He's not going to hit. He's not a bat for me. We've gone back and forth over this. I'm with you on McCormick. It's flip a coin what you get. Some years it's okay. Some years it's really not. But if I've got Dubon in left field, who looks like he's going to play anyway, right? He's going to play. If I got Dubon in left field, I got somebody I know is going to play good defense out there and is going to produce. And Altuve's staying at second base. Look, the metrics, they're not great for Altuve at second base anymore. I totally get it. I get it.
He was second worst in baseball.
Right, but you're still talking about a position switch for a Hall of Fame hitter. What do you want to do here? Because Alvarez has no business in the outfield. None. Matter of fact, Yordan Alvarez should, and I see these guys tomorrow at the stadium, should never bring a glove to the ballpark again.
He might have given it to Jose Altuve
maybe.
at the beginning of spring training.
Maybe.
At least that's what was happening at first.
He should never own one. It's a box of bats. It's a box of bats and batting gloves, and that's it. That's all we have to own. That's all he needs to own. So when it comes to Altuve playing left field, we'll see. I'd have Dubon playing left, and I'd have Altuve at second base. Outside of that, man, Myers what's going to get. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to have a couple of good at-bats here and there. He finds some kind of way to come through in the clutch occasionally.
Right.
But for the most part, man, he's a fifth outfielder playing, 80 defense. So with that, it's a good time for Cam Smith to go back to that to see what you really got in right field, because you got to figure out where you're going to put him.